From the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains in beautiful Colorado, it is Saturday, October 17th, 2020, and this is Truly News. I am your host, Jason Van Sickle. I hope that you had a great week. It is officially the weekend, so whether you have to work or have the next 2 days off, I hope that you can put aside some time for yourself to relax and recharge. And as we begin this new day, let's increase our knowledge and expand our insights by reviewing the day's news. As always, we start with a look at the top headlines from across the country. From the New York Times, Trump calls 421 million in debt, quote, a peanut, unquote, but challenges lie ahead. The president on Thursday played down big loans that he guaranteed for his struggling businesses. However, much of that debt is soon to come due in the midst of declining Trump Organization revenue and an IRS audit that could cost him over $100 million. And from National Public Radio, the Supreme Court speeds up its hearing of the case on Trump's push to alter the census. The U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to review President Trump's attempt to exclude unauthorized immigrants from the census numbers. Last month, a lower court ruling blocked Trump's efforts. Now, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear oral arguments in the case starting on November 30th. The hearing will take place a month before federal law says the latest population counts are due to the president. The census count of the population in each state is used to determine how many seats each state gets in the House of Representatives. The timing of the Supreme Court hearings increases the potential for Trump to try to make a change to who is included in the numbers during his current term in office. And from the Los Angeles Times, a rejection from FEMA to declare the California wildfires a major disaster and provide federal aid was reversed Friday, following appeals from the California governor and Republican lawmakers. More than 4 million acres have been burned this year, double the state's previous record. The disaster declaration allows for cost sharing between the state and the federal government, and it also activates federal programs led by FEMA. And finally, in our look at the top headlines, here are the stories that are crossing the wire at Reuters News. According to Nielsen's ratings data released on Friday, Biden won a TV ratings battle with Trump as the two held competing town halls just weeks before the election. Also, U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said on Friday that she would probably talk to Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin over the weekend for the last round of negotiations on coronavirus relief. And finally, from Reuters, the U.S. Justice Department said on Friday it scheduled the first federal execution of a woman in almost 70 years. And those are your top headlines for today. To put us all in a better mood after those headlines, we now present our top 5 joke countdown. As usual, bringing us the countdown is my friend Billy Cunningham. Billy is a comedian who goes by the stage name Potbelly. And here's Billy.
Thank you, Jason. From my studio here in Sweetwater, Appalachia, this is Billy Potbelly Cunningham. By the way, for those of you who live in Hollywood, Alabama, on October 24th, I will be performing at the Scary Bugger, Hollywood Halloween costume shop and hamburger stand. What, Penny? Oh, that was supposed to say Scary Booger, not Scary Bugger. Oh, man, my fault. Yeah, I know the difference. Pick your costume, not your nose. Oh, man, way to start. Now, on to our jokes. My intern Penny is handing me the joke cards for today. She gets these jokes from Reader's Digest, and as an up-and-coming comedian, she often rewrites a few to make 'em even funnier. So, let's see how she done. Looking here at the cards, it looks like our category of jokes today is one-liners. Oh, baby. Here we go. Number 5. This first card says, I ate a clock yesterday. It was very time-consuming. Oh, man. I think that deserves one of those sound effects we have for our new sound effect machine, Penny. Try one of them out. Yeah, that's about right. Number 4. What 2 types of chemicals do you find at a fire hydrant? Answer, H2O and K9P. Huh. What? Oh. Oh, I get it. H2O is water. And K9P is dog wee wee. Yeah. Okay. That was good. Number 3. I recently wrote a song about burritos. Well, actually, it was more of a rap. Well, I guess that's your musical joke of the day. Hey, speaking of which, has anyone ever heard the song Beans, Beans, the Musical Fruit? Never mind. Moving on. Number 2. Don't you hate it when someone answers their own questions? I do. Yeah, that's right. What, Penny? You don't understand my last comment. What comment? Oh, the Beans Beans comment. You haven't heard that? Yeah, it's a song. Kids sing it on the playground. Hold on just a minute here. Hold on. I know there's a music video for this thing on YouTube. Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. Here you go.
Beans, beans, the musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, the better you feel. So let's have beans for every meal. Ate my beans and they were loaded. Went to bed and they exploded. Beans, beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you...
Oh, we better stop there. The next word is kind of bad. Don't want any kids listening to run around all day dropping refried F-bombs everywhere. All right, and our number 1 one-liner joke of the day. By the way, not sure these jokes qualify as one-liners, but oh well. Your final joke of the day is, did you hear about the crook who stole the calendar? He got 12 months. Oh, man. I think that deserves another one of our sound effects. See what you got, Penny.
Are you kidding me, man?
What, are you kidding me?
You're kidding. Kidding me!
You gotta be kidding me.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, right?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's funny. Send me that one. I'm gonna save it on my phone to annoy my wife next time we're fighting. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that'll work. Well, those are your jokes for today. I'm glad we had a little time together this morning, and I look forward to our time together tomorrow. In the meantime, be kind to others, be good to yourself, and keep on smiling. This is Billy Potbelly Cunningham signing off. Over and out.
There you have it, folks. Billy and his top 5 countdown. Thanks, Billy. And now we return to the news. From the world of science and technology, CNN reports that National Park Service interns unearthed fossils of a bizarre 220 million year old reptile. The fossilized remains of a peculiar species of burrowing reptiles has been found. A team of National Park Service interns are credited with its discovery. Hidden in a once vibrant part of Arizona's Petrified Forest National Park, the fossils are of an anteater-like reptile that probably predates dinosaurs, according to findings published this month in the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology. The University of California Museum of Paleontology describes the creatures as seemingly drawn at random from evolution's spare parts, with bird-like beaks and tails with claw tips. Almost too odd to be real. Also in science and technology news, from physics.org, climate change likely drove early human species to extinction. Of the 6 or more different species of early humans, only we, Homo sapiens, survived. Now, a study combining climate modeling and the fossil record in search of clues to what led to all those early extinctions suggests that climate change and the inability to adapt to either warming or cooling temperatures likely played a major role in sealing their fate. These studies offer robust evidence that 3 types of human species experience sharp, unfavorable changes in global climate just before extinction. And our final article from Science and Technology News, CNET reports YouTube bans QAnon conspiracy videos that target a person or groups. YouTube has banned some videos pushing false conspiracies such as QAnon or Pizzagate, the company reported on Thursday. YouTube pledged to remove videos that target an individual or group with conspiracy theories that in the past have been used to justify real-world violence. With tweaks to its policies on harassment and hate, Google's massive video service said it would take down videos that suggest anybody is complicit in the unfounded conspiracy QAnon, which has grown in prominence over the last 3 years. And those are your science and technology headlines for today. In health news, Science News reports the FDA has approved the first treatment for Ebola. There is now an approved treatment for Ebola, one of the world's deadliest diseases. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced this week that a cocktail of lab-made antibodies developed by the pharmaceutical company Regeneron can be used to treat adult and pediatric patients with Ebola. The announcement comes less than a year after the FDA approved the first Ebola vaccine. Also in health news, from NBC News, Trump repeats inaccurate claim about masks, citing CDC study. President Trump is again questioning the effectiveness of masks against catching the coronavirus. On Tuesday, he repeated an incorrect claim about masks, citing a recent report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Quote, "Then you see CDC comes out with a statement that 85% of the people wearing masks catch it," unquote, Trump told Fox News. Trump was referring to a September 10th report from the CDC that found that dining out raised the risk of infections more than other social activities. On Wednesday afternoon, the CDC tweeted that, quote, "The interpretation that more mask wearers are getting infected compared to non-mask wearers is incorrect," unquote. And that is your health news for today. Now we take another break from the headlines for today's Words of Wisdom. To present this segment is Dr. Albert Feinstein, my philosophy professor from college. And here is Dr. Feinstein.
Thank you, Mr. Van Sickle. Hello, and welcome to today's Words of Wisdom. Today's Words of Wisdom are from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And the quote is, "Every day, think as you wake up, today I am fortunate to be alive. I have a precious human life, and I am not going to waste it." Those words remind us that far too often life flies by. One day runs into the other, and before we know it, days, weeks, and even years have passed. What the Dalai Lama is reminding us is the importance of pausing and thinking about life and not simply living it. So, tomorrow, when you wake up, try sitting there for just a moment and thinking about your life. Life is truly amazing in a lot of ways, and I am sure that you have things for which you are grateful. Pause and think about those things before you get up. Then think about your priorities as you start your day. Self-reflection on the preciousness of our human lives is never a waste of time. And those are your words of wisdom for today. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom and believe in your incredible potential. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Feinstein. We appreciate your words of wisdom and your encouragement. Now, we return to our review of the day's news. In entertainment news, we start with new movies, and today's movie is The Opening Act, starring Bill Burr, Debbie Ryan, and Ken Jeong. This movie falls into the category of comedy. And here is the description from IMDb. Will Chu is stuck in a thankless job while trying to pursue his true passion in life, becoming a stand-up comedian. The Opening Act is now available for rental on Amazon Prime. Moving on, we look at newly released shows. And today's show is Helstrom, starring Taran Karam, Kyle Warren, and Leo Chang. This series falls into the categories of action, adventure, and drama. And here is the description from IMDb. Damon and Anna Hellstrom are the son and daughter of a dark and mysterious figure. The siblings have a complicated dynamic as they track down the worst of humanity, each with their attitude and skills. Hellstrom is now available on Hulu. Finally, in our entertainment news, we take a look at newly published books. And our book for today is Humans by Brian Stanton. This book is presently #1 on the New York Times nonfiction bestseller list. Here is a summary of the book from Amazon.com. Brandon Stanton's new book, Humans, his most moving and compelling book to date, shows us the world. Humans is now available in print at your local bookstore, and it is also available in print and Kindle formats on Amazon. And that concludes our entertainment news for the day. As always, we end our broadcast with a look at what we call Happy News, and here is your Happy News story for the day. The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette has a section called Random Acts of Kindness where they invite people to write a brief description of acts of kindness that they have encountered. Here are 3 recent posts from that column. From Mitzi, who wrote, "Recently I had several errands to run, one of which was getting stamps at the Glenshaw Post Office. When I returned home and unloaded my packages, I checked my purse for the stamps, but they were gone. I then remembered that I was fumbling with my purse as I walked out of the post office, and they must have fallen to the ground. I was able to go back to the post office later and asked if some kind person found the stamps and returned them. The clerk asked me a couple of questions and then handed me the stamps. I truly want to thank the honest person who returned my stamps." You made my day. And from the Dax sisters in Wexford, recently we were privileged to be recipients of a random act of kindness. Our only encounter with the couple was a brief conversation we had while waiting to be seated at Toten's Diner in Wexford. Eventually we were seated and we ended up across the aisle from the couple. After finishing our dinners, we requested our bill, but the waitress informed us that the couple had paid and already left. What a much appreciated anonymous act of kindness. We will pay it forward. And from Gwen, who wrote, in September I had knee surgery. While recuperating, 2 of my neighbors went out of their way to fix all of our dinners. They are the types of people that are always there if anyone needs anything. So, I want to publicly thank Barb and Joan, not only for being my good friends and neighbors, but for being good neighbors to everyone in our neighborhood who has ever needed help. Those are 3 great stories that remind us how small acts of kindness can have a positive impact on other people's lives. And that is your news for October 17th, 2020. Have a wonderful day.